Hello and welcome back. And in this video, we are going to see that how we can do some kind of instrumentation to track the service, like how it was started. If there was any issue, then what was that issue? Did we get some issue? Where it failed while starting? So all those things, if you want to track for the debugging purposes, then in that case, we need to do some kind of instrumentation that is known as the logging. So we are going to do the logging of the events that are happening in this particular service. So what is the importance of that? The importance, again, I told you like earlier that in case a customer complains, client complains that your service is not running, or in case you are not able to run your service, then you should be able to understand that why the service is not running. You have written all the code correct. What could be the problem? What was the issue? In that case, you need to have this kind of instrumentation added to your code. Okay, so let me tell you one more thing. We are going to do this instrumentation with the help of file handling. That is the only way, basically. So I'm going to do a very basic plain file handling thing that you do in your C++ programming language. So I'm just going to add hash include IO stream and then using namespace std. Okay, and then we have another one hash include f stream. Okay, and this std is the namespace which contains the set of functions and everything which are there in the IO stream, F stream, and many other headers. So they should work. So we have to start the file handling here. So let me add a file here, OF stream. Okay, this is for the output OF stream, and then I'm going to give the name O file log, O log file, something like this you can do. And in this O log file, I'm just going to add some path to this file. Suppose I want to create the paths where the logs will be added at this location. Let me show you how you can create it. Inside the C drive, we can create a folder, service log, something like this. Okay, service log, this is the folder. And I want to give the path C service log here. And I'm just opening the file C service log slash win svc socket service log dot log, or maybe any other extension. You can give the txt extension as well, right? So we have created the OF stream object, so it will be simply creating a file which will be only open for the write up. So we will be able to write the content to this file. So we are just going to write to this file. But do you think that it should be only only for write up? It should be for appending. Because if it is only for write up, then in that case, what will happen that every time what will happen that you will write, then old content will be removed whenever this new file will be opened. But you want to keep adding the logs in the logs, right? So for that purpose, we need to have this OF stream object with a mode which is known as IOS and then append app, right? So this is the append mode, which means whenever you will add something, whenever you will open it, then the previous content will not be destroyed. It will be there, right? A new content will be added on top of it. Okay, so let us see how it works. So first, let us see if it is working at all or not. So let me add this. Here I'm going to add olog file endl, which is on the new line. I'm going to add this service main function called. Okay, so this is how it can be done. Okay, so now let's see first if we are reaching here and if we are able to write something to the file or not. And then after writing this, we will just close it. olog file dot close so that we understand that yes, we are correctly able to open the file and able to write it. Okay, so let me put a breakpoint here and let me run it. So here it comes. So let me see. It is F10. So let me go to the F10. Yes. So we have closed it. So let's see in this location, at this location, if the file has been created or not. Yeah, it has been created. So if you open it, it has been closed now. Yeah, the service main function called. So we have tested it that yes, we are able to do the instrumentation, started logging. So here I'm not going to close it. We will keep it open until the service is running. Okay. So let me do one thing. We will close it in the thread function when the thread will return. When you will, not the thread exactly, when you are actually closing your service. Actually, you are done with the service, right? Stop the service. So this is the main function, service main function. Inside this, at the end, when you are stopping the service, here is the point where you are stopping the service. After this, you will be able to o file, o log file, and then you should write the content here like service has been stopped. Okay. And if you want to add some kind of time as well, like when the service was started and when it was stopped, that is really important. I mean, why adding the time is important? This is really a interesting aspect. Suppose your client says that at this point of time I was doing something, and at this point of time, this was the time when it was like my service stopped, and I got this error. So you may be needing that kind of information that when my service actually started and when did it give some kind of different results, right? So in that case, you need to add some kind of timestamps as well, right? Like when this service actually stopped, right? So you can do that, but yeah, in this video, I'm not going to do that. In the next video, probably we will be able to add that one. Okay. And in this video, we are just going to add few things. Okay, so let me add few of the logs. So the main service is started, right? And then here you go. If you are not able to, uh, you know, uh, start service control dispatcher, then we must need to have some kind of message, o log file, endl, and then the service dispatcher failed. Okay, and what was the error? Service dispatcher failed, and then the error is failed, and then error. This is the error. Get last error. Okay, what is this get last error? Get last error is a function which gives the last error when you call the API and that API failed. Suppose you call this API start service control dispatcher and this API failed to do do something which you wanted. Now, why it was not able to do something which you wanted, that will be indicated by the error code, and that error code can be you can get from the get last error. This is the universal function. Get last error, the universal function, and any API which you have called previously, you have your latest call to any API, if it has failed, then for that API what has failed, why it has failed, that thing will be with you. Okay, that will be with you. That error will be indicating why it failed, and after that you can go to the MSDN and you can put that number, that error number, and you can get that what is the explanation of this error, right? And here you are returning get last error. This is not a good practice. Basically, we can do one thing. We can create one int err is equal to something like 0, right? This is the status code for Windows, but yeah, you can do something like err is equal to get last error. Get last error. Okay, so this is the function. And now here, if you come, rather than writing this function, again calling this function, you can simply give the err here. And here as well, you can go return err. Okay, so this is the way you can do this thing. And now, if everything is fine, then in that case, it will return 0, right? So service dispatcher failed, then in that case, you will show this. If service dispatcher has not shown any issues, then there is no need to do anything, right? No need to add any logs. Okay, now comes to this function, register service control dispatcher. Okay, if this function fails, then this handle will come as null, right? In that case as well, you can do this thing. You can simply copy and paste this thing. ERR is equal to this and just this thing. Just copy and paste here. Okay, so you can show this because you are not returning any error here. You are simply returning from here, right? So you can simply put it here. The this service control handler failed. So you can write the name of the function here. The correct practice is this. This service register service control handler failed. Error is equal to this. This was the error. Okay, so apart from that, you can write one more thing, returning. Just so that it will indicate that yes, you returned from this function from here. Now let us see the other thing. Yeah, again it comes here. Like if you are not able to set the service status, this is again the window API. You know all these things. These are window APIs. Set service status. So if anything comes here, then you need to again copy and paste this particular error. Control C, and then you can come here and then you can simply write it here. And again, it is the same thing like get last error. This can be done every time because every function call, if it fails, then in that case, it simply means that yes, you have got some window API error. And that error you can simply record in the ERR variable. And then after that, you can print it with the message. And what should be the message? Set service status. You can simply write like this, set service status failed to stop the service. Okay. One more thing I can add here. Let me add one more thing here. Error. And after the error, you can add the line number basically. Here, before the message, you can simply do this thing, double underscore line. Okay, so this is the line number in the program, right? This indicates the line number. Suppose this is the line number 64, so it is indicating the same line number, right? So this line number will be printed here. Okay, this will help you again during the debugging because when you know that from which point it came, then you will be able to easily reach out to that point and you will be able to find out what was the problem with the function. Okay. So these kind of projects, if you create, then they become really easy to maintain. And this is really a good programming practice if you follow this. So that when you create a project and if some some question on maintainability comes, if someone asks you that what is the maintainability of your project, then you can say that we have implemented the instrumentation in this manner. This will be easier for the developers to test and quickly resolve the issues for the client. Okay, so here again you can do this thing, double underscore line. Okay, we will just see one example here that how it is printing the line number. So here again, I need to add this. Yeah, this is added. So here again, I need to add double underscore line. So it will simply print the line for you. Okay, and on the top, we started this APIs, started this service. So here I'm just going to show you that how it will print. So let us see how it will print it. So let me, and after that, since we need to close it as well, so let me close it. Oh, log file dot close. So here you go. Let us see how it works. So let me come here and then close it and then let me close it at all. Okay, now let us see the file which we have created. So if you come here and if you open here, you can see that the earlier line, the past line that was also there, and this line is also available. So 20 and the service main function call. So this is line number 20. If you match it in your code, this is exactly the line number 20. So basically you can do one thing like here you can do like this thing so that it can separate it. Okay, so that colon will separate the line number from the actual message. So everywhere we can do this thing. So in case someone asks you that how you can maintain your product, how you ensure the maintainability of your product, what have you done so that you claim that my product is easily maintainable? Any issue which comes, we will be able to easily track it and hunt it down. Then you can say that yes, hey, you can see that I have implemented these things, right? So even if you are doing any college project, I would suggest you to do these kind of things. I hope you are doing, but yeah, if you are doing these kind of tracking and if you are adding this, then there will be really a good impact on your examiner, and they will be really impressed with you if you are able to, tell these things. Now come to this one here again. You are failing, then again you need to do this thing. You need to copy and paste. So we simply need to copy and paste right now. So Control C, and then again here you need to just paste it. The service failed to, stop the service. And what was happening here? Okay, failed to start the service. Here it was starting, right? So you can add the correct messages. However, with the help of line, you will be able to see that what line created the problem. Okay, if it fails, then I think basically we should have returned as well. But anyways, we can leave it as of now. Now let us, here it is a correct message because here we are trying to stop the service. So it is good. We are trying to stop the service and it failed. Now we are running the service, right? If we fail to start the, update the service status, update the service status to running. Okay. So this is a correct message, and same way we can do like if here we have created a thread, but sometimes it may happen that you are not able to create the thread. So in that case, this H thread will be null. So you can check it if H thread is equal to null, then in that case, you can simply put this thing again. Here you can put it like unable to start the worker thread. Okay, so this will indicate the correct thing like that at this point of time you failed it, and when you failed it, then in that case you must need to surely return from here. Return, we don't have to return any value because it is a void function, it is not returning anything. And then we have wait for single object. Okay, so if you do this wait for single object, then also you could fail. So let me tell you that what kind of errors you can get if you fail here. So dw if dw is equal to wait abandoned, then in that case you need to put the message. Okay, you can write like wait for single object failed. Okay, so then returning then error number. So here you can return from this point. You can simply write like return, and that's it. You need to return from here. After that, you are closing the service again. If here you are not able to close the service, then you can print the message here. This set service status failed to stop the service. So this is the correct message because we are actually trying to stop the service here. Okay, so after that, we have this thing, we have written this thing that we have stopped the service, and this will be the end of our program. So here we need to close the file as well. Okay, so the file has been closed, but yeah, the other functions which have been, called, they also need to be equipped with the error messages. So set service status failed to stop the service, stop pending the service. Okay, so this is just an indication that yes, we were doing something like this. And this is again like set event. This, if you want to add, you can add, otherwise there is no issue. And if you want to add something, you can add the same thing, get last error, because this is also a window API. In case window API fails, any window API fails, then the error from that window API can be indicated from the get last error function only. So you can do this thing here. Now, let's see the worker thread. So here I don't think there is any need to do anything. This is simply if the wait is done, then it will be it will be just starting the thread and just stopping the thread, and everything will be fine. So because it will be waiting on the event, after the wait has been done, it will return from here. Okay, so actual work when your service is running, then in that case, the actual work must be happening here. You are creating a thread, okay? You are creating a thread here. After creating a thread which will be waiting, after that, you need to do your task here. Wait for single object. This will be not from here. Basically, after creating the thread, after starting the thread, and before started waiting on your thread, you need to do, just remember this. You need to actually perform your task just like we will be writing a socket server, and that socket server will be waiting for the input connections, incoming connections. So getting the incoming connections, responding on them, all those can be done from here, from line number 115. And before this, wait for single object, right? Because you will start, okay, you have to start something in your thread only. Okay. So you need to wait for single object. You don't need to put it here. I was wrong. So you can put it here. The best place to do all the things is this one. Okay, so here it's like periodically it is checking whether the service has been stopped or not. And meanwhile, keep doing the actual task of your server. Okay, so here if you're doing the actual task of your server, then in that case, what will happen that you will write the logic here. Suppose you are, if you put it in the while loop, then it will be a problem, right? So wait for single object, it is periodically checking. Then inside this, because we have written the correct thing here. Sorry, we have written the correct thing here because here I have not written infinite. We are waiting for the object, whether the object has been signaled or not. Okay, if this object is not signaled, right? If this event object is not signaled, then in that case, it means that we are still running. Okay, if this object, if this object is not yet signaled, then this will not be returned. If this object, which is the event object, right? This is an event kernel object, which you can see here. Until this set event has been called, your main function will keep running in a loop to find out if I have got any service stop event or not, that has been signaled or not, because this will be signaled only when the user will click on the stop service command. Okay. So here inside this function, you will be able to write any code that you want to perform. Okay. So here in the, after the while, if you are not stuck into the while loop, if your, wait for single object gives you wait object O, then in that case, this while loop will break. Means when your service stop event object will be signaled, then your while loop will stop. That's the only thing. You can check it. Okay. Now, after that, we will write O log file, endl, and then line number. Then you can write the worker thread is stopping now. Okay. So this will be the message that yes, the worker thread is stopping. This will be indicator that yes, you have stopped your service. Okay, and you can add the time as well. What was the time? I think there should be some time macro as well. Let me see if there is a time macro. If there is a time macro, then we can add underscore timestamp. Okay, so this timestamp, what it will give? Yeah, so it is giving me like today is Sunday, September 15, 11:53. So this will be give you, yeah, but this timestamp, I would like to say you should not use because this will be the time of compilation of this file. This will not be the runtime, right? So let us keep on hold until the next video, because in the next video you will see that how we can add the time. This macro will not work because this macro will give you that time, which is basically the time when your code was compiled. Okay, so that's the problem. Okay, so that's why we will just do this thing. And here, when you are inside the, yes, here you can add one more message that we have got the stop service request, because here you will get the stop service request. If you see it here, service control handler, then you will be able to get it. So you can write like o log file endl and then double underscore line, then double underscore got the request to stop the service. That's it. So now most of the things we have done. Okay. So we will see like how it is working, right? And we are just going to do one thing, like if it is like we have not got any of the stop request, then in that case we should keep logging something into the log file endl, then double underscore line, I am alive. Okay, so this is the way you can do I am alive, and just add one sleep for 2 seconds, I think. So after every 2 seconds, this will keep adding this message until you send a stop request. Okay, so let me compile, build it, and let me again install it. So once you compile it, build it, then you get the exe created again, because you have created a new exe. Let me go to the exe location. Remember this thing, whatever I'm going to tell you now, because this is really important. See, here we have this debug. This is this Windows services.exe. Okay, so this exe is available here. From here only, your service is going to take the, you know, your input exe file, right? So better, it's always better that whenever you have created a new exe, you just need to uninstall this service. You need to uninstall this service, then again install the service with the new exe. Okay, so let us do that. So here, if you see, yesterday we did this. We created a service, real-time service update. Now we are going to remove this service. Before you remove this service, you need to close the services panel. You need to close this. Okay, otherwise it will give some error. So sc delete, and you can give the name of the service, whatever name you have given. So here you can write like this thing. So now it will delete it. And now if you open it, services dot this panel, then you will be able to see that real-time update service is no more. This is not added here. Now we are going to do again, right, with the new exe, because this is the new exe. So now it has been created. Okay. Now let me remove this log which we have created, so that we can see a new log altogether. So let me remove this. Okay. Now when I will start the service again, then the log will be created again, and all the logs will keep adding there. Okay. So let me start it. Services and real-time update service, and then you need to start it. Okay, it has been started. And now let us see what is coming in there. This will be really interesting to see what is happening here. So open it in the Notepad++, because Notepad++ will allow you to load the latest file, because every 2 seconds this file will be getting updated, right? We have added, something to add the message after every 2 seconds. So open it in the Notepad++. This is a freeware. You can install it on your system, and then you can open it. Okay, so just open it. And you can see like the service main function called, none of the problems happened. So this will keep adding in here. The messages will keep adding. So let me see. Okay, so this is the message. This is the exe which is giving you the messages, and it should come. But yeah, somehow it is only coming like yes. This is the message, the service main function called. Okay, let me see what could be the issue. This thread could have been started. Surely this has been started. But yeah, there is something wrong. After 2 seconds, it should have been, you know, given the sleep. And then it should have added this I am alive. But it is not adding. Let me see why it is not adding. It's only still, yeah, it is not adding. So let me stop it. And let's see if the thread was started or not. We add this thing again. Okay, win service thread. This has been started and we are waiting on the thread. Now let us see if this message came or not. Got the request to stop the service. If this message came or not, let us see. No, that message also didn't came. Okay, so I think there is something wrong. I have closed the file somewhere else. Okay, there should be some problem where I have closed the file wrongly. Maybe the problem is somewhere else. If this OF stream, this file is already there. It is global file, but still it is not giving me. Okay. Got it. What is the problem? I didn't remove this particular call, which was the close call. That's why it is happening. Okay, let me compile build again and let me again install it. Sorry for that. So I hope that you are understanding the concept and you are enjoying this video because you might not have seen this thing, this real thing which is implemented in the live projects. You might not have seen this thing. Okay, and if you have seen this for the first time, if you're a professional, then you could have seen all these things. But if you're not a professional, you are just learning the things. Then in that case, if you're in a college days, if you are just struggling to, just preparing for some job, then in that case, you should be able to, understand these things. Okay, so now let me again stop this service. Let me, I have to stop service.exe. I have to stop this. I have stopped this. Okay, I got it. I stopped this. Now let me do one more thing. Let me delete the service, sc delete, and let me again load the service. Service created now. Now let me run again this service. Services panel, and then let me real-time update service. This will be started now. Now it has been started. It will be interesting now to see what is happening all here. Okay, so let me open it. Yes, you can see I am alive. I am alive. It is coming. Continuously it is alive, right? Okay, so I am alive. I am alive. I am alive. These things are coming. So this message is from the previous call, from the previous uh, startup. Now this is up from line number 3. This is the new. Okay, so let me again open it if it is moving ahead. Yeah, you can see lot of I am alive messages, right? So you can keep updating it because your, text pad every time if you minimize it and if you again open it, then in that case you will be able to see a new message that do you want to reload. So once you minimize and once you maximize again after 2 or 3 seconds, then you will be able to say that it will ask you that do you want to reload because few more messages could have come. So you can see that wherever we have written I am alive at that location only, at that point of, that line only, on that line only, we have to write our code, which will be doing the real work, right? So this is how we can do our programming, our server programming. So I hope you must have enjoyed it. I will just push this code and then I will you can just clone it again. Okay. You can simply clone it again or you can just update it again because I have already shared the URL of the GitHub where the code is available to you in the previous video. But yeah, in every video, I'm going to share it with you. So I will just, push the code and then you can take it from there. So I hope you must have enjoyed it. Please share, like, and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Have a nice day.